Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today you are going to be doing a week of school with me. This week's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit shorter than normal because my daughter does have a doctor's appointment this week and she has a procedure, so we don't know if she'll recover within a couple days. So it's gonna be kind of chill this week, a little bit more. So I'm just gonna flip you around and I'm gonna have you plan a week with me.
So I have opened up my planner. What I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna write down the dates here, and then I'm gonna look at my schedule and write down what's going on which day. Now what I'm going to do is I kind of make a list of what I want to accomplish throughout the week, because sometimes our weeks change, we have unexpected things come up. So I am just going to make a list of what I want to accomplish that week. So I'm first going to start with language arts. Again, we use Logic of English. We are near the end of level B. So I'm just going to flip through and we're going to see what lessons I want to accomplish. We're probably only going to do about 3. Next, I will be looking through our math and seeing what we need to do next. As you saw, I put down 3 math curriculums. My daughter does do 3 math curriculums, but honestly, her math still takes less than 30 minutes a day. Honestly, it's closer to 20. It just depends on whether she wants to do more of the games or not. Depends on whether it'll go to 30 minutes. And sometimes we won't do the good and the beautiful. That's more of a supplement. So if we don't get to it, I'm not worried about it. Math with Confidence and Math UC are her 2 main curriculums that we do every day, and I make sure that we get done. This is just extra, and if she's feeling it. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through my son's preschool, because we do stuff with him. So I'm just going to write down what I want to accomplish with him next. So I'm going to look through his math now. We are doing preschool math at home, and honestly, we're just kind of doing 1 lesson a day, and that's where he's at right now. We also do flashcards where we work on the sounds of the different letters, and we just practice that for a couple minutes every day just so he can learn the sounds. So I'm just going to go through and see what we're going to be doing. Next, I'm going to look at what we need to do this week for playing preschool with him. This is what we are using with him. We used it last year. We got about halfway through it, so we're just gonna redo it this year. And honestly, he loves this. This is not a fight for him to do it. He enjoys it. I don't force him. If we don't do all the activities, we don't do the activities. So I'm just gonna get an idea of what we need to do this week. So we are on week 1, so I'm just going to fill in the day and the week that we need to complete with this. And we will be reading these 2 books with it. We'll be reading The Apple Orchard Riddle and How Do Apples Grow. So it'll be 2 days reading this and 2 days reading this. So now I'm just gonna make this look pretty real quick. Now we are gonna come over here. So again, I make a list of all the things that I just want to do throughout the week. And if we get to it, great. And if we don't, we can roll it over to the next week, or we won't do it because homeschool is all about flexibility. So if we don't get to everything, that's okay. I'm not honestly worried about it. So for our morning time, we are using the Legend of Sleepy Hollow guide. So I'm just gonna see what we're supposed to do for this next week. So last week we did air dry clay ghosts, which we did do. We did not do a moth trap because it is cold where and we don't have moths, and we did not do the cookies. So we are reading What is the Story of the Headless Horseman, as well as The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So we are reading about a chapter or two a day. So this week, as I'm looking at it, we're supposed to roast pumpkin seeds and carve jack-o'-lanterns and read a poem. We read a poem every day anyway, so that's not too much of an issue for us, but we were already gonna do these, so I will just add to it. So we will be reading The Little Old Lady Who Is Not Afraid of Anything, Room on the Broom, and Bats in the Band. So I will just write that down in my list. Next, we are going to be talking about history. So again, since my daughter does have a procedure on Tuesday, and I'm going to assume we're not doing anything on Wednesday, we're not going to do any formal history. All I'm going to do is read maybe 3 chapters total throughout the week of who was Christopher Columbus, and then add him into our history timeline notebook. So next we're going to talk about science. My daughter has asked to do both zoology and the Who Would Win unit study. We will be doing polar bear and grizzly bear this week. She specifically asked to do both of these, and again, if we don't get to one or the other, it's not that big of a deal. What needs to be done for science. So it looks like she has her cowling to do, finishing up her lap book because we're finishing up the last week on deserts. So we will definitely do that. Did have to look in here and see which animal we were learning about, because in the lap book teacher's guide it says giraffes when we are not in the savannah. We're not learning about that, we're in the desert, so that was wrong. So I had to go and see what we were learning about and write that down correctly. Now I will finish writing down the list of everything that I need to do. Honestly, it looks like a lot, but this really only takes about 2 days and maybe about 30 minutes each time we sit down and do it. Sometimes we'll break it up into 3 days, but we're only going to do 2 days. And the only reason the first day might take long is because my daughter will be doing a lizard dissection kit that we got, but she is very excited about it. Next, I'm gonna write down who would win. I don't think we have that much to do because we did kind of start this last week, but we never finished it. So I'm gonna look and see what we need to finish this week. Next, we're going to be talking about home economics. We are currently using the Harbor and Sprout curriculum. There's some things I did not accomplish last week, so I'm going to write down home economics into my list, and I'm going to go back and see what we did not accomplish. We use it as a supplement for extra work, for like extra fun. So like this week we're going to be baking bread, yeast bread specifically, and then we're going to be baking sourdough bread. She also needs to make a story quilt, and then we're going to study an artist that we've been studying for about 3 weeks now. So we are going to finish that up hopefully this week by watching a video about her and by trying to study one of her art pieces specifically and probably try to copy it. So I'm going to look through and see what else we possibly would want to do this week, especially since these are mostly hands-on activities. I'm more comfortable with doing a lot more of these than some of our other readings. And then I will also be taking pictures of all of these and I will add them into our home economics notebook that we do. As you can see, I sorted this into different categories so she can find where we're at very easily. I will be filling out the week as well as our subjects. And then on the side here, I write down the days. Now I'm just going to highlight it and just make it look pretty.
So that is a week of planning. That is how I plan. I know it still seemed kind of like a lot, but really each of those activities, mostly books and just reading and just a few hands-on activities, but most of that will only take us maybe 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Like it does not take a lot. The longest it might take is for us to do language arts and math. Everything else will only take about maybe 10 minutes, which is not a lot throughout the day. So, and if we don't get to everything, it'll just roll over into the next week. It's totally fine. We try to keep things flexible. But thank you for hanging out with me and planning a week of homeschool with me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.